Something about a millionaire non-U.S. citizen who came here as an undocumented immigrant, supporting the most undocumented immigrant deporting president who literally built a secret police to target people just like her, plus all of the people with weird cases around her, that never really sat right with me.
Yeah. Nicki Minaj aligning with the Trump administration should not really surprise anyone. I mean, Nicki has been Kanye West in a pink wig on Twitter for a very long time.
Chesley Major. Chesley Major. Yeah, what's going on, everybody? Hope all is well and you're having a good and productive day. Nicki Minaj and this TPUSA debacle. It was a disaster for Nicki. She had her face planted right between Donald Trump's crack. It seems to be that Nicki is full on MAGA now. She's betraying her own barbs and she's turned her back on the Democrats. Why? Now, you know Nicki be tripping on that blow, and I think she was tripping, allegedly, on that blow. When I saw her on that stage, it sounded to me like she was tripping on that booger sugar. That nose nacho is a powerful drug. Dr. Umar Johnson had a very good take, so I want y'all to check out what he had to say. Let's get into it.
When I saw her interview with Erica Kirk, Charlie Kirk's widow, it almost blew my mind because I was not aware that she had joined the Donald Trump bandwagon. So this past Sunday, December the 21st, she was in Phoenix, Arizona. It was Turning Point's USA Amerifest conference. So this is the conservative think tank, foundation, organization, and movement that Charlie Kirk helped to co-found. So she was interviewed by his widow, Erica Kirk, for about 30 minutes. And some of the stuff that Nicki Minaj said out of her mouth left me flabbergasted. She said things like Donald Trump and J.D. Vance were heroes.
Oh, that's me.
That they were role models for our children. She said that when they speak, she can tell that they're speaking for us.
Nigga, please.
That they make us feel proud to be American. She said that they have given us a chance to beat the bad guys and win.
What?
She also said something to the effect that really bothered me. Nicki Minaj said, it's not just that, and I'm paraphrasing, I want to try to get it correct, but she said something to the effect that it's not just that we tell black children to feel proud of themselves, but it's like we're doing that, and at the same time, we're telling other children not to feel proud of themselves. And so I guess she was alluding to this false narrative that the conservatives are putting out there, that teaching black children black history and teaching white children the true history of America is somehow going to make white children feel bad about themselves. That bothered me because she's a black woman, or at least I thought she was. She clearly has black children. So are you saying you don't mind your children growing up in a society where they cannot be taught black history or the true history of America because some people feel it offends the self-esteem of white children? And this is so hypocritical, Art, because we've been in America 400 years at least under British North American control. And look at how the self-esteem and self-worth and self-value of black children has been and continues to be compromised for the benefit of the white child. And yet you're telling me that to implement a curriculum of corrective history where you're not insulting white people, you're not denigrating white people, you're simply making sure white children understand that the foundation of this country was laid and built and cemented on the genocide of Native Americans and the enslavement of African people. So getting back to the Nicki Minaj situation, what bothers me about my sister, and I still love and respect her, and I'm going to hope that she engages in some corrective behavior, because this is insane. This is absolutely insane to see such a talented, beautiful black woman build her career through black culture by way of the hip hop movement, become a multi-millionaire, one of the top selling artists of this century, and to use black culture to build your career and then turn around and use the platform that was created through black culture and hip hop. And now you're going to use your platform and your prominence within our culture to work against the progress of black people by joining Donald Trump, J.D. Vance, Erica Kirk, Turning Point USA against the best interests of black people. It's bothersome. And the issue about this, Art, is to me, this is the Candace Owens effect. So you have Candace Owens, a black woman, another very articulate, intelligent, attractive black woman, just like Nicki Minaj, who benefited from civil rights, okay, and used those civil rights that our ancestors fought for to bring suit against a white racist school district. And then she spins the block on civil rights, and now look at her. She goes against a white husband, and now she's one of the biggest supporters of the conservative white racist agenda. And as she's touring the country, and she's all over the news media, okay, trying to defend the honor, integrity, and legacy of another racist in Charlie Kirk, how is Candace Owens running around championing the legacy of Charlie Kirk, while at the same time you made a documentary trying to prove to the whole world that George Floyd was not suffocated to death by the knee of a police officer? Look at the things Charlie Kirk said about black women. Look at the things Charlie Kirk said about black men. But getting back to Nicki Minaj, I believe that Donald Trump and the conservative movement in this country selected Nicki Minaj because they needed a replacement for Candace Owens. They had to distance themselves from Candace. So if we're going to distance ourselves from Candace, and this is Donald Trump, the Republican Party, and the mainstream white conservative movement, we got to find another black woman. We got to find another black woman who can compete with Candace Owens nationally and internationally to bring attention away from Candace Owens, who is highlighting the Israeli influence on American politics. And so who better to use than Nicki Minaj? Now, I don't know why Nicki Minaj is doing this. I don't know if she's getting paid. I don't know if it's a favor. I don't know if it's an exchange, as some people have suggested. Okay, I don't know. So Nicki Minaj, in all respect, if you see yourself as a black woman, how can you sit up there with Erica Kirk and talk about black kids being made to be proud of themselves at the expense of white children? Where has that ever happened, Art? Right now, Donald Trump has taken it upon himself to wage war against the Venezuelan government. Now, how does this relate to Nicki Minaj? I'm going to tell you. Nicki Minaj, her parents, and herself, they're from Trinidad and Tobago. If I'm not mistaken, Nicki Minaj may have been born in Trinidad or Tobago. If she wasn't, at least her parents were. At least her father was. Rest in peace to him, and condolences to the family for their loss of her father. Nobody should ever lose their life in that manner. So her father is of East Indian and African heritage. So he's mixed race, East Indian and African Trinidadian. Her mother, I believe, may be an American African. But from what I understand, the mother's all black, the father is black and East Indian. So Nicki Minaj carries within her the DNA of the East Indian people and the African people. But a question I would need to ask Nicki Minaj, Art, do you primarily identify as a black woman, or do you primarily identify as an East Indian? And the reason I got to ask her that, Art, not only is she turning her back on the same black America that made her famous, not only is she turning her back on the same black America that made her famous, Art, but right now, there's only one Caribbean country, Art, that is standing in solidarity with Donald Trump. Guess who it is? Trinidad and Tobago. The Prime Minister of Trinidad, the Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago, Nicki Minaj's ancestral homeland. Well, technically your ancestral homeland is Africa, okay? But the birthland of her parents and maybe herself, Trinidad and Tobago, they are the only Caribbean country, or should I say the main Caribbean country, standing in solidarity with Donald Trump's unilateral and illegal move to declare war on Venezuela. So when I say I would like to respectfully know whether or not Sister Nicki Minaj identifies as an East Indian or an African, that's not just for American African purposes, Art. That's for Trinidadian African purposes. But getting back to this, Art, I believe that Nicki Minaj was selected for 3 reasons. Number 1, they need somebody to neutralize Candace Owens and Jasmine Crockett. They need somebody to neutralize the conservative movement led by Donald Trump, the mainstream conservative movement led by Donald Trump. They need Candace Owens and Jasmine Crockett politically neutralized. They're hoping that Nicki Minaj's status in the hip hop industry and her popularity, not only in America, but around the world, will be enough to take care of 2 birds with 1 stone. That's the first reason they chose her. The second reason they chose her is they wanted to show Trinidad and Tobago that if you support us, we will support you. Nicki Minaj is one of your fellow country persons. Her ancestry is from Trinidad and Tobago. She has a mixed race parent from Trinidad and Tobago. So because you're standing up for Donald Trump's imperialist agenda against Venezuela, we're going to put one of yours in the limelight for us. This is geopolitical, Art. I heard J.D. Vance mention Nicki Minaj by name at least 4 times in his speech that he gave at Turning Point USA's conference in Phoenix on Sunday. And don't forget, Art, where was Nicki Minaj on November the 18th? On November the 18th, Nicki Minaj was at the United Nations. But how does a hip hop artist go from rap to giving speeches at the United Nations? And on November the 18th, Nicki Minaj gave a speech supporting Donald Trump's intervention in northern Nigeria on behalf of the Christians. Nicki Minaj, I want you to reconsider this. Please don't go down the path of Candace Owens, sister. Please recant while you can, but I don't know if she can, Art. She might be in too deep. That's what this is, Art. And Nicki Minaj is allowing herself to be used to undermine the self-respect and dignity of Black people, the proper education of Black children in the schools. She's allowing herself to be used as a stool pigeon to help propagate Donald Trump's agenda. I would just say that I'm disappointed in my sister Nicki. You have no business using hip-hop music to build yourself in Black culture. But how dare you build a comfortable life for you and your beautiful family on Black culture and then turn around and use that success to help Donald Trump leverage his military agenda against Black Africa, the Black Caribbean, and Black America. I need her to understand, Art. Sister Nicki, you are being used against the Black Caribbean. You are being used against Black Africa, and you are being used against Black America. Is what Donald Trump is offering you, is it worth that? I hope my sister rethinks what she's doing. Nicki Minaj, please, 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 sister, do not go down in history as one of the greatest queens who ever lived in the 21st century.
Minaj went from this video right here.
Y'all got the audacity to be intimidated by a bad mother queen and get your mother feelings hurt. But it's all mother K, cause Barack needed a Michelle and Bill needed a mother Hillary. You better pray to God you don't get stuck with a mother Melania. You want brainless bitch to stroke your motherfucking ego.
Eventually to this.
I have the utmost respect and admiration for our president. He has, I don't know if he even knows this, but he's given so many people hope that there's a chance to beat the bad guys and to win and to do it with your head held high.
Meanwhile,
Nicki Minaj, Turning Point USA. She went out there. By now you've seen it. I got a bunch of phone calls about it.
I bet.
I'm out. I'm done. That was it. That was it. Sorry, I'm gone. I'm gone. That's it. The last dance. That was the last candle on the cake for me. Sorry. Sorry, Barbs. Sorry, Nick. Don't call me, don't text me. It is what it is. Sometimes how y'all move around out there does have an effect on how I view you, and this was one of them things. I'd be a fool to think that you didn't consider that before you did it.
I'm sure.
Which just says to me that you really don't give a
So I'm getting texts like about Nicki, and I'm like, what are you talking about? I didn't even know. Then, I researched and saw what was going on. And I'm going to say it like this. Is you're about to see an influx of people who see that it is more profitable and more beneficial to join that side. You're going to see it. It already started. And it's going to continue. This is his first year. This is Trump's first year as president. We got 3 more years of people who are going to surprise you. And it's going to hurt your feelings and it's going to disappoint you. And you have to know that, there's money behind everything. There are privileges behind every move people in these positions make. And I'm not surprised.
So Nicki Minaj, she sold her soul just to be on that stage with Erica Kirk. And now she's facing a heavy, heavy backlash from everybody throughout the community. Even the Barbs are turning their back on Nicki Minaj. This right here is fuckery, coonery, and buffoonery at its best. Yes. There is an ulterior motive, of course, as Dr. Umar explained. Don't listen to everything Dr. Umar says. He's a Pan-Africanist. I'm not. I once was, but I won't be until Africans begin to practice Pan-Africanism. And that's where we at with it. He does have some good takes. And watching him and Art at the Art of Dialogue talk about this, I pretty much concur with everything he said on what's really going on with Nicki Minaj. Bullseye on point. She came in hot, like, yeah, I love you guys. This is the culture. F Donald Trump, F Melania. Did a total 180, and now Trump's the best guy in the world. He's a role model. He's dashing. So she switched sides. This happens all the time with tethers like Nicki Minaj. They crowbar their way into our community and culture. They shoehorn their way in, and next thing you know, they're switching up on us. This is why we are delineating. This is why we're not supporting tethers and coons alike. Anybody going against us from now on, you don't got our vote. You don't got our support. Nothing. But anyhow, anyway, anywho, I appreciate you. Y'all let me know what you think about this video. Subscribe at the bell if you're not subscribed. Leave a comment. I would love to hear your thoughts. Thanks for all that you do. I'll see you on the next one. Peace.